Hi guys, this is Kumar. Today we are going to learn about what is DNA. To understand DNA, you have to go inside the nucleus of a cell. So the cell's nucleus contains chromosome made from long DNA molecules. And this DNA is a majestic structure which is encoding the secrets of life. Why you are taller than your brother, or why your eyes are black, or why your hairs are blonde. All these answers lies in this helical shaped or the ladder shaped structure called as DNA. DNA is an acronym for deoxyribonucleic acid. It's a molecule in which a bunch of atoms stick together, and these atoms in DNA combine to make a ladder shaped or a helical shape. DNA is also the recipe or the blueprint of life. So you're wondering that how can a mere molecule can be a blueprint for something complex like a tree, a dog, or even a big structure like dinosaur. So let's take a look into DNA structure. To understand the DNA structure, you need to know what are proteins. So proteins, if you remember, we have learned in the chapter macromolecules. So proteins are the macromolecules or also the polymer which are made from the small subunits called as the monomer, and the monomer for proteins are the amino acids. So if you look at this structure which is rotating, is made up from small ping pong shaped balls, and each unit we call that as amino acids. So these amino acids are a tiny structure inside our body and also called as the building block of the life. There are 20 different kinds of amino acids with unique shape. So these amino acids you can see can be attached with each other like Legos to make a protein. So in this structure, if you see these small different shaped structure are amino acids, and when you combine them together they will make the whole structure which is called as protein. And each protein has to be formed in a perfect shape in order to function. So wrong shape they can usually won't work, and there comes the DNA. So how these small amino acids are joined together or what order they have to be joined together, the code lies in DNA. So DNA tells amino acids to line up to make a perfect protein shape. So it's all start with these amino acids, and these amino acids they join together to make protein, and these proteins are responsible for the various metabolic function inside the living cell. And these living cells are combined together to make tissues, and these tissues make organs, and these organs make a human being. So whatever is taking place at this level, the answer lies in the assembly of proteins. If the right proteins are made at right time, everything else from cells to organs will be functioning right. So DNA has to code for the right proteins so that the functions in our body are going to be right. If you look at the structure in detail for DNA, it looks like a ladder. Why it looks like a ladder, we are going to do in the detail of the structure of DNA, but right now you need to know it looks like a ladder because there are 4 different chemicals which are A, T, G, and C. They are assembled with each other in a different sequence, which are also called as the genes, or these are having the information how the proteins are going to be made. So a single strand of a DNA is extremely long, and millions of letters are there like this. If you look at the half of the structure of DNA and you take these letters out, you can read the sequence or a genetic code in a sequence like a book. and there lies the code or the function or the code for the coding of the proteins. So this single strand of DNA is extremely long, and there are millions of letters in there like these in a different sequence. So DNA lives in there, that is in the nucleus, and to interact or to make the protein, it has to come out into the cytoplasm to make amino acids, through the amino acids to the protein. So for that, it uses a small structure called as RNA. So the chemical called as RNA makes a partial copy of DNA, which takes the codes from the DNA and comes out of the nucleus so that it can make the proteins. So this RNA, which is a single strand, get attached with ribosomes. And these ribosomes are a kind of machine which are going to assemble the proteins by reading the codes on the RNA. So these ribosomes, they read the codes in 3. That is, if there is a code GUC or GUG, they are going to read these 3 codes. And each of these 3 codes, they code for a specific amino acids. So each amino acids are going to be there after reading these codes, and further these amino acids are going to be attached with each other after reading these codes in a line, in a sequence. So when you're assembling these amino acids continuously, it's going to make proteins. So you can also say that the ribosome is a protein building machine. It reads the 3 letters on the RNA. So RNA, where did the RNA get the code from? The RNA got the code from DNA. So in this you can see that this is the RNA which is going inside the ribosome, and you can see here the proteins or the amino acids being attached together. So each 3 codes, they code for a specific amino acids, and after attaching the amino acids for those 3 codes, it moves on to another 3 codes which are going to be a different amino acid depending upon those codes. So it will keep on attaching these amino acids in line, and that's going to make the protein. So let's look at the crux, that DNA is a molecular blueprint for living things, and these DNA, they code through a structure called as RNA, and these RNA are having the codes which is read by the ribosomes in the sequence of 3, and these 3 sequence of on the ribosomes, they are having a code for a specific amino acids. So this is the chain, how it goes from DNA, which is having the copies or the code in the form of RNA, and those RNA are having the codes which is read by the ribosomes in the sequence of 3 to make the amino acids. So in detail we are going to do the structure of DNA and how it transcripts for making amino acids and protein in the next video.